Hello there. Welcome to my channel, Snips by Kelly. I'm Kelly, and tonight I have a simple scrapbook layout design for you. And I'm going to show you a couple go-to things that I use when I want things to come together quickly and easily. We're going to be using the beautiful Gathering Together Designer Series paper, and I have 8 photos of my grandson, Waylon James, helping me make pie. And he's a taste tester and all kinds of things in these photos. So because I want to get 8 photos, I'm going to use 2.5 by 3.5 size, and I have a little bit of a photo mat on the back, so 2 5/8 by 3 5/8 willow white, and then 2 3/4 by 3 3/4 basic beige on the true side. So I want a linear story because we have all of these photos of him helping me make pie, and we get to the end and his face is priceless. Now, Grandma's not so happy about the pie. The crust got too dark, but his face said it all. He was overjoyed. So from the mouth of babes, if only we could be as satisfied as little kids, right? I loved having him be my helper all day, and we had some great pie by nightfall. So in the Gathering Together DSP, it has these rich fall colors and gorgeous gold foil embedded, but I love this wood grain as an offset. So it has this wood grain paper on the back side of a more pretty pattern paper. So I went with 4.5 by 12 for the wood grain. And then I have a couple simple pieces of plaid. So we have a 2 by 8 and a 1 by 8 of the plaid. And a lot of times you can find an idea or a sketch for a single page layout, right? But then we need that companion page. Most of the people I know really love to do 2-page layouts. Of course, you always love a single focal page once in a while when you're looking for a wow, but most of the time you need double pages. And so we're just going to flip this pattern vertically. Now, a great way to make a companion page quickly is to flip the pattern vertically or horizontally, or use the same pieces only in a little bit different way. So I have that gorgeous leaf pattern down there. That's 4 by 11. And because I want the photos to be across from each other, we have a little bit of less space on the upper right. So instead of a 4 by 11, we're going to go with 3.5 by 11. So now they've mirrored each other vertically. They're across from each other diagonally and just flipped. I do think I need to bring in that pop of crushed curry. Waylon James has some crushed curry in his t-shirt, and then I feel like it will help that plaid pattern stick out a little bit. So I went 1/8 of an inch larger. So we have 2 1/8 by 8 1/4, actually 1/8 of an inch and 1/4 of an inch. Now, just to add some sort of simple elevations, I'm going to add journaling lines around the outside. And I have used my black Le Pen for I don't even know how many years, so many years, and it finally conked out. So it's given me a chance to try the new Stampin' Up! Journaling pen. So I'm using a 0.4 and I love it. So I'm so happy to have a choice or an option with Stampin' Up! So I'm using black journaling pen, and I'm going about 1/4 of an inch all the way around. And it's just a simple technique. It's very subtle to give those lines around the outside. And you could use squiggly lines. You could use dash lines. Some people will do a line and then a couple vertical dashes. Some people get really fancy with it. I don't have a steady hand. I've actually broken both of my little fingers in my lifetime on the left and the right, and so I'm a little wobbly, so I do use a ruler. Now, I have some great titles here, and yes, it's a bit of a product sneak peek. So coming in our brand new January to April mini catalog that's coming in January, we have some brand new ephemera called Unforgettable Times. And the Unforgettable Times has all of these amazing titles in it, which for a scrapbooker is a dream come true. So often when I want a page to come together quickly, I will use punch out ephemera. So we know when we're elevating and we're doing all the things, we can stamp, we can die cut, we can do background stamping, we can do all kinds of inking techniques. But when I'm working on simple strategies strategies and I just want a quick and easy layout, I go to my ephemera. There are so many titles in this Unforgettable Times pack, and I'm actually going to pull out some of the gold foil. So there's 5 gold foil titles, and I'm actually creating 5 layouts with the designer series paper with this particular series. And so I'm going to be able to get every single title for all 5 2-page layouts out of just a little bit of that Unforgettable Times ephemera, and that there's double. So there's 2 sheets each of 3 sets of titles. I'm also going to draw from our foiled frames ephemera. Gorgeous. And it goes perfectly with this Gathering Together DSP because of the gold foil embedded. I'm going to use it for journaling pieces. I'm going to use it for embellishing and decorating. So of course I've gone to my Word document and I've typed my journaling onto a Word document. Now what I do is I open up a text box and I size the text box to the size that I want the journaling to be, actually about 1/4 of an inch less. And then I type inside that text box. And so I printed that on vellum. You could do it on paper, on vellum. And I'm just going to snip one of these foiled frames. Now we have the outer frames in the foiled frames and the inner frames. So why not use those as shadows and just shadow the back as a little bit of an embellishment. So if I'm using the designer series paper, this particular line or collection doesn't have a scrapbooking workshop kit and it doesn't have a DSP and sticker sheet. So I have no stickers to draw from. And so typically, if I'm doing an elevated page, I'm going to stamp and die on it. But if I'm doing a simple page, then it's that question of what to do, what to do. We need bits, right? So if we don't make our own bits and no bits come with it, we need to add bits. So I'm going to use these foiled frames as simple bits, and it's going to come together so fast and easy. I can use tops or bottoms of tags as little landing spots for embellishing. I can use them to hold the titles and be the landing spots for the titles to ground titles. So I'm going to actually repeat a lot of these techniques by using the frames as the background decorative element and then using the front portion of the foiled frames to be able to have that to be a landing spot. So I'm going to add the gold foil circle here, and then we'll add Love This for the title. I love that the titles in the Unforgettable Times ephemera are just generic but beautiful. So we've got Cherish Forever, Love This, we've got Celebrate, we've got, gosh, I can't remember all of them now, but they're perfect. I think one of them is Heartfelt. So just really titles that could go with any pages. Grateful, of course. How perfect is that for Thanksgiving and for fall? Now, I've shown this before. This is my huge tub of leaves. I created in a previous video about 175 leaves out of the wreath garland. It's the home, let's see, what is it called? Harvest Home Garland Wreath Kit. And it's this big kit that can make this big piece of garland that's gorgeous that you could put on your mantle. And I actually did all kinds of simple techniques, 15 different techniques on those leaves in that garland kit to be able to create a leaf bank so that I can add those leaves to all of the layouts that I'm creating. And so I'm just simply going to finish this layout off by adding all kinds of leaves. So I will link in the description that video. It's a little dry in the beginning because I'm showing leaf techniques and some strategies on how to use regular tools that you have. Stamp pads, you can use your markers, you can do splattering with those markers, you can do marker techniques, you can do ink blending and rubbing, you can do crinkling crinkling and leathering. There's so many techniques that I showed in that video, but I show it on some plain colored leaves at first. And then at the end, I pull it all together and show you how all of these leaves turn out when you combine those techniques. And they're super quick and easy to do on those leaves. And if you're not a garland fan, which I love garland, but I was like, I'm not sure what I would do with it as garland, but they're all punch out pre-scored leaves in the Harvest Garland set. So you would have a bank of leaves to last you through layout after layout after layout, and they're gorgeous. So on these leaves, I just did some burnishing with some ink. I did splattering with some Stampin' Blend markers, and I did some splattering with a little bit of white gloss spray. I definitely inked all of the edges like with pecan pie. I did some crinkling where I crumpled up the leaves and then rubbed inking over them. So easy and so gorgeous. Now, I also did water mottling where you can splatter water on top of them. And what that does when you do those techniques, it actually gives them a natural curl and a crinkle. So you can see that all of these leaves actually have a natural bend to them. So what I'm doing is I'm using dimensionals strategically in certain spots so that the curl doesn't go away. Now you're thinking to yourself probably, well, it's going to go in a page protector. Even though it goes into a page protector, by putting that dimensional dot underneath, it keeps a lot of that curve, not all of it, but a lot of it. And so it still looks dimensional within the page protector. And if you take it out of the page protector, it still holds that shape. So by adding these leaves in clusters, so I've got a really nice cluster going on in the upper left around the title. I've got a really nice cluster going on in the lower right around the journaling. There's a couple like little hearts and stars in the in that foiled frame. Let's see, is it in the foiled frame? No, it's in the Unforgettable Times Ephemera. So I can use that as a little added decorative element, but you can see there is nothing else but ephemera, leaves from a kit, and one pattern paper DSP. So, you know, when you want you want quick and easy, go to that ephemera drawer. I like to grab the ephemera because I can use it on so many layouts. I can use it over and over. And with those ones that have gold foil and colored ephemera, you can use it in a wide variety of topics and themes. And it's such a great, simple and easy go-to. I hope you love this simple layout. I will link in the description all 10 pages that I made using these same materials, and you can check those out as well as the leaf techniques. I hope you'll hit like, subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and come back soon.